So we missed a Tuesday. I've been away. These have been left for 5 days on their own on the auto feeder. All's fine. I just gave them a big clean yesterday. There was a bit of algae on the glass. Still haven't got past the algae problems, but it's looking better. The plants are certainly looking better. They're still not growing quite as good as I thought. So even though I've got an algae problem, I've turned the lights up. There's a bit of extra fertiliser. I think we'll beat the algae eventually. I think it's because of the new sand and the change in the lights. Now I found the lights had all of the blues turned right up. So I've turned all of the blues right down. And I think that also will help, which is why I've turned the white spectrums up, the blues down. So let's see how the algae goes. Obviously keep cleaning it out. I'm tempted possibly to get some algae eating fish, but I don't think I'm going to need that, so we'll see how that goes. The water in here is excellent at the moment. The only concern is I've got one who's a bit dark and a bit hidey. Now that's a new thing, and I don't know what that's about. So he's under observation. The white dot on the red cover's fin, still there, but no worse. In fact, it's possibly a bit better. So I'm thinking now I'm not going anywhere for a while, we'll slightly increase the water changes and that will sort that problem out. Otherwise, everyone is doing well, and everyone now is also eating granules. So that guy there, I don't think had eaten for about 3 months when I got him. I'm sure I never saw him eat anything. Then he started to have a bit of beef heart. Now he's chasing the granules around at the auto feeder. So if you want to get them to have to granules, the big tip I think is to have an auto feeder on with nice granules in. Get good ones. Watch out for colourings, especially with the fish that's that colour. You don't want him going pink, and you certainly don't want him going orange. So he stayed nice and yellow. He has granules now too, and I think the ones that have grown the fastest are the ones that eat the granules. So that I think is another top tip. I'm nearly out of beef heart, so I don't know what I'm going to do when the beef heart runs out, whether these will be off the beef completely. I'm trying to get white worms going, so I'm going to start feeding them those once they've got going fast enough to keep these fed. So beef heart might be no more once I've run out. Still looking at that. Interestingly, it was cleaned yesterday. It's quite dirty again already, and I think that is because the fans are still blowing the dirt out of the corner where the plants are. Some of those plants look awful. There's a horrible leaf there, but then over here they're looking quite good, so we shall see what develops on the plant front. I want more giant vallis, that's coming, and there's a bit of wood coming as well to go over this side. And I've got almost zero sand outside of where the plants are, and I can suck the sand out, clean it, put it back in. So I need to do that for this patch, then that'll be completely clean. But there will be some plants over here, and behind the wood I'm just having an experiment with these plants in a pot. So you've got about 2 inches of sand, you've got some root tabs, and we'll see how those go. Those are suffering with a bit of algae too, but they are growing, so we'll see how that goes. I don't think they'll do so well in a pot that small because of the flow around the roots, but I don't know if that's true or not. I don't see how the water can flow through the sand anyway, but let's see. That could be a little experiment. That can sit behind the wood once the wood's in, and we'll see how they go. But that allows me to completely remove this sand and put it straight back in every week or so for this whole patch of tank, and then there'll be some more root tabs going in there to get these going off a bit more. So let's see what happens. So we'll keep an eye on him. I think it might be some fighting going on with the other fish. It might be that that one has become the runt of the tank. There's always one. So we'll see how he goes. But these lemon tetras are coming on really well, so they must be happy. In fact, they look like they're displaying to each other too. Excellent colours on them. So I think, as I say, the water is good. A few little issues that we need to sort out, but otherwise no massive dramas this week. I'll keep you up to date on what happens. We're thinking about trying the albino pearl diamond and the little white one here, who I'm told is a female, in the breeding tank to see how they get on. They do seem to spend some time together. He gives her the odd fin shimmies as he drives past. So I think that is an excellent pair if we can get them interested. The little breeding experiments going in the other tank. I might do a little video on that shortly, but I still haven't quite worked out how to do it properly. So there we go. That's the update for this week. Sorry we missed one. Questions, comments, subscribes, likes, all that stuff. We'll try and answer questions if you've got any. But I'm hoping this tank will be back looking its best soon. I'm quite happy for you to see it while it's not looking quite so great. Although I think the fish at the moment speak for themselves, because I don't think there's any problems there. All is well.